Hi, I'm Megan, celebrant to the Angels. I'd like to start sharing some sessions about my thoughts on death or transitioning, grief and funerals. But first, I'd like to share some information with you about myself. I've been a registered marriage celebrant for about 10 years now. And after the first year or so, I thought about diversifying into funerals in case I had a friend or one of my wedding couples come to me to officiate a funeral for a loved one. So I did my training, and within a few weeks, I did my first funeral. I thought I'll just do one or two and get my confidence up, and then I'll be ready if I'm called upon when the situation arises. Well, it didn't quite go like that. I soon discovered that I had a real passion for funerals, and particularly for grieving families. While I still love my weddings and my brides, I came to realise that I needed to leave my part-time office job and pursue my role as a celebrant full-time, and I've never looked back. I guess what I love most about it all is the feeling that I have helped a person or a family, even just a little bit, through that difficult time in their life by making the whole funeral process as simple as possible. I also feel that I connect with the energy of the deceased person. So I seem to just instinctively know what to say to the family to bring them comfort, even what poems to suggest to them that suit their needs, and the right music choices if they're struggling with that as well. And it also extends to the writing of the service. Words sometimes just pop into my head, and they may not be words that I would usually use or say, but I just go with it and it seems to work pretty okay for me. I quite often become the family celebrant, and it all starts perhaps with doing a funeral for a family, and then I might be called upon to do a wedding or a baby naming or another funeral. And once you have that connection and the trust is formed, it certainly helps to make those painful situations just a little bit easier. I once did 3 funerals for a family within 6 months. And while the pain didn't get any easier for them, in fact, of course, it compounded, it was reassuring for them to have me leading them through that time. Most people don't realise that you can have your preferred celebrant with you no matter what funeral company you use. You don't have to use their appointed celebrant. And arranging a funeral can be a very confusing and daunting task when a family member passes. So I want to talk to you about this on a few different levels. Firstly, let's talk about funeral companies. Most people are thrown into shock when a family member passes, whether the death was imminent or was sudden and unexpected. And the first day or two is when major decisions about the funerals need to be made. And sure, some people just go straight into organisation mode, and that's how they deal with their grief. But most people, they feel numb and they're just not wanting to make the decisions at that time. And families can suddenly find themselves spending thousands of dollars more than they need to pay because they haven't had the time or the ability to shop around with different funeral companies. So it's a good idea to visit funeral homes yourself now while you're alive and get yourself a funeral plan. Most companies have them and they're tailored to suit your budget now at today's prices. And your family will pay no more, even years down the track, when you finally use your policy. You can choose your own coffin, your flowers, whether you want a religious or non-religious service, your celebrant of choice, even your music. And sure, some people will find that's a really morbid thing to do, but you know what, it saves your family having to make those decisions during their time of grief. And trust me, not all families will respect your wishes once you're gone anyway. So if you have it in writing, you're more likely to actually get what you want. And I'm happy to give you my personal recommendations if you want to contact me. Secondly, if your family member's death is imminent due to illness and no pre-arrangements have been made, it's a good idea to start looking around when you know that time is getting short. It is not disrespectful to do this while the person is still alive, and it will save you the confusion and stress of doing it when they pass. Then you can use those precious few days after they pass to spend your time with your family and start to grieve properly. And lastly, should a family member pass suddenly and you just don't know where to begin, you can start by giving me a call or message me, and I can guide you step by step through the process. I can recommend a funeral home based on your budget, your location, and your spiritual needs, and help you plan a beautiful and dignified service for your loved one. Now, I travel all through Brisbane, Logan, Gold Coast, Scenic Rim, and all the way through to Toowoomba. My number is 0403 017 739, or you can message me through my Facebook page, Angel Funerals, Celebrant and End of Life Doula. So I hope you found this information helpful and interesting. If there is something specific that you would like me to talk about in the future, please send me a message and let me know. I welcome your suggestions. So I'll leave it there for now. Thank you for watching. Until next time, live your life well, and goodbye for now.